Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing down the latest State of AI report to figure out what on earth is going on in Q3 2025, because things are moving incredibly fast.
And you know what? Let's just kick things off with this quote from the report's authors. It really says it all. If you thought AI was fast before, well, you haven't seen anything yet. The idea that things might be slowing down, yeah, that's not happening. It's actually speeding up.
So, how do we even begin to wrap our heads around all this? Well, the report breaks it down into 5 key trends that are really defining this moment. We're going to look at the insane competition, this huge shift towards AI that actually does things, the creative explosion in video and images, the wild west of open source models, and finally, how AI is really finding its voice.
All right, first up, the great model race. This is all about the battle for pure, raw intelligence. Who is building the smartest AI on the planet?
And what's so wild is just how tight this race is right now. I mean, look at this. OpenAI just snatched back the top spot with GPT-5, but xAI's Grok and Anthropic's Claude are right on his heels. This isn't a one-horse race anymore. It's an all-out sprint between some major heavyweights.
So, with all this horsepower being added, you have to ask the obvious question, right? Does smarter just mean it's going to cost a fortune to use?
And the answer is no. Actually, it's the complete opposite, which is kind of mind-blowing. The cost to actually use one of these top-of-the-line models has been slashed by about half just this quarter. So the tech is getting way better and way cheaper all at the same time.
And all this progress is really being driven by 2 totally different philosophies. You've got the big, closed-door labs like OpenAI pushing the absolute limits of what's possible. And then you have this booming open source movement where anyone can grab the code and build on it, leading to this Cambrian explosion of new models.
So you've got all this brainpower. Now what? Well, our second trend is all about putting that intelligence to work. It's time for AI to get a job. We're moving way beyond just asking questions. And that's where this idea of an agent comes in. So what is it? It's an AI that doesn't just talk about doing something, it actually does it. It can make a plan, use tools like a web browser, and just get the job done from start to finish. Here's the best way to think about it. Asking a chatbot for info, that's like asking a librarian where to find a book. But asking an AI agent to do something, that's like asking the librarian to go get the book, read it, figure out the main themes, and then write you a 1-page summary. See the difference? It's a huge shift from just thinking to actually doing.
And would you look at how fast this is happening? I mean, it feels like just yesterday we were playing with basic chatbots. Now in 2025, we're talking about agents that are baked right into our apps, connected to our data, and can handle some seriously complex stuff.
But hold on, because this revolution isn't just happening with words. Our third trend shows there's a parallel creative explosion going on in pretty much every other kind of media you can think of. AI is becoming a legitimate creative partner. The quality of AI video is taking massive leaps. You can now edit images just by typing what you want. And those robotic voices, they're being replaced by speech models that are so good, they're ready for real products, making voice agents sound incredibly human. And here's where the story gets really interesting. While US labs have a strong grip on language models, when you look at media, it's a whole different ballgame. You can see here that Chinese and US labs are basically tied for image generation, and when it comes to video, yeah, Chinese labs are absolutely crushing it right now. So, that brings us to the next big question. What is fueling all of this? What's the engine under the hood? Well, we're talking about raw, brute force computing power, the hardware. I mean, just look at this chart. You don't need to be a financial analyst to see what's going on here. The amount of money big tech is pouring into AI infrastructure is, well, it's astronomical. And it just keeps going up. This is the fuel for the entire AI fire. But here's a weird paradox. On the one hand, you have all this innovation, smarter software, more efficient hardware, that's making AI cheaper and easier to run for everyone. But on the other hand, all the cool new stuff we want to do is incredibly power hungry. An AI agent working on a complex problem, that could take up to 20 times more compute than a simple question. So even though everything is getting more efficient, our ambitions are just growing way, way faster. And that creates this classic gold rush situation, you know? The big money isn't always in finding the gold, it's in selling the picks and shovels. And in AI, the shovels are the super advanced chips that do all the hard work. And right now, NVIDIA is the undisputed king of shovel makers. I mean, look at this. Their new B200 chip delivers a mind-boggling 3 times performance boost over the last one. That's not an incremental improvement, that is a massive leap forward. Okay, let's just take a breath. We have covered a ton of ground. So after this whirlwind tour, what's the bottom line? What are the really big things you need to remember? If you walk away with just 3 things, make it these. 1. Anyone who says things are slowing down is dead wrong. The pace is picking up. 2. The focus is shifting in a big way from AI that just thinks to AI that actually does stuff. And 3. This whole thing, from the chips to the code, is a fierce global race. And all of this progress really leaves us staring at one final massive question. As these AI agents get better and better at doing complex, real-world work, what's left for us to do? And that right there is the question that's going to define this next era.